You don't always notice healing when it's happening. It's not loud. It's not dramatic. Sometimes healing is quiet, almost invisible. It shows up in small decisions, in subtle changes, in moments where you choose differently than you did before. The most powerful sign that you're growing isn't that your life looks perfect. It's that your reactions are starting to change. So let's talk about 3 real signs you're healing, even if you don't realize it yet. 1. You pause before reacting. One of the most underrated signs of emotional growth is when you start catching yourself before the old habits kick in. Maybe you used to snap when you felt attacked, or shut down the moment something uncomfortable came up. Maybe you always needed to explain yourself, prove a point, or defend your worth. But now you pause. You breathe. You think, is this worth it? Before you dive in. That pause means everything. It means your nervous system is learning safety. It means you're not being dragged around by every trigger, every slight, every anxious thought. And it doesn't mean you're becoming passive or disconnected. It means you're gaining control. You're not ignoring your feelings. You're just not letting them run the show anymore. That moment of stillness before reaction is the space where healing lives. And the people around you might not notice, but you do. You feel it. You feel that shift inside where chaos used to live. And sure, sometimes you still react too fast. You're human. But even catching yourself afterward, even noticing, is progress. Because a few months ago, a year ago, you didn't even know there was something to notice. Now you do. And that's huge. 2. You're becoming more honest with yourself. Healing isn't always about feeling better. Sometimes it's about finally telling yourself the truth. The truth about how something made you feel, about what you actually want, about what you've been pretending doesn't hurt anymore. One of the clearest signs that you're healing is when you stop running from your own emotions and start getting real with yourself, even when it's uncomfortable. Maybe you used to say, I'm fine, just to avoid digging deeper. Or maybe you used to blame others for your pain because it was too painful to admit your own patterns. But now, you're asking yourself hard questions. You're able to sit with your discomfort without immediately numbing it, with distractions, with overworking, with people pleasing. You're starting to say, this still hurts, without judging yourself for not being over it. And more importantly, you no longer feel like you have to hide your struggles to be worthy. That honesty isn't weakness, it's strength. Real growth doesn't happen through pretending. It happens when you face yourself fully and gently. You're not beating yourself up. You're getting clear. That moment when you say, I don't want to live like this anymore, and actually mean it, that's when healing takes root. You can't change what you don't face, and you're finally ready to face it all. 3. You're okay with letting go. Healing often looks like losing people, habits, or situations that once felt essential. And that can be terrifying. But somewhere along the way, you begin to realize peace is more important than pleasing. Clarity is more important than closure. And not everyone deserves a front row seat to your life. If you're starting to release people who constantly drain you, environments that make you anxious, or versions of yourself that no longer feel true, you're healing. Letting go isn't giving up. It's recognizing what no longer aligns with who you're becoming. It's saying, I still care about you, but I care about me too. It's choosing discomfort in the short term for real peace in the long term. You might still feel guilty when you set boundaries. You might still miss people who weren't good for you. That's normal. Healing doesn't mean you're immune to emotion. It means you're learning to sit with it instead of letting it rule your life. You no longer beg to be chosen. You no longer chase after what keeps breaking you. You're starting to believe that you're worthy of ease, of softness, of consistency. And that belief changes everything. Healing isn't a finish line, it's a way of living. It's not about becoming unbreakable. It's about becoming honest, aware, and intentional. Some days you'll feel like you're back at square one. Other days, you'll surprise yourself with how far you've come. But if you're pausing before reacting, being more honest with yourself, and letting go of what no longer serves you, you're healing. Quietly, deeply, truly. And that's something to be proud of, even if no one else sees it yet. You see it, And that's where real change begins.